Hey guys, welcome to episode 37 of the Awkward Tapes.
Hi.
We are back.
Hey.
And better than ever. Noah's on again. Thanks for being on, Noah.
I am
nice
back.
duck on your mic.
Well, Evan, you look a little bit different. Looks like you dyed your hair, grew it out a little bit more.
I
got
did my
some
makeup
glasses.
today.
Yeah.
Oh. So
nice.
this is okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's about it for that.
I'm glad we look good today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that's
Man,
enough.
just
For
starting the podcast is just always like such a what do I do?
Well,
You
It's
can
our
almost say
staple.
it's awkward.
Yeah.
You know what? I
It's our
like it.
staple.
Yeah,
That's how it
fine.
works,
That's
man.
fine with it.
So we're gonna start this thing.
Yeah, we're gonna start this. All right, with a with a
Please.
Presley
welcome to
deep
Presley
dive.
Thoughts. In this Presley Thought, we're going to think. If you think about it, boy bands and girl bands are both for girls.
Okay.
You know what?
Kinda.
Yeah.
You know, it's
For the
20,
most
it's
part.
2022, so some people might say it's controversial, but
For the most
Yeah.
part.
yeah.
But I get what you're saying though. That
Yeah.
Predominantly, the crowd that follows those kind of bands.
Predominantly.
word.
Essentially.
Essentially, it's predominantly that.
No,
audience.
predominantly is a word.
No,
No, it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
No,
thought
it's
you were.
not.
Basically. It's basically a
no,
word.
I was
my
actually
gosh.
kind of being like like that is the perfect word for that. It's
It is.
predominantly. Yeah.
It's
I
not. It's
thought
not.
you were making fun of me. I was like, no, it's a word.
It's not. It's not.
Statistics
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not dominantly. It's predominantly.
Like, I don't know a single guy that's like, oh my gosh, I love Big Rush.
Or
Big
oh my
Time Rush.
goodness, I love.
Or Big Time Rush, yeah.
One Direction.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Jonas
Or-
Brothers, I could watch them.
You know what? I did not mind Jonas Brothers back in the day.
Well, Destiny's Child was pretty good too.
I don't mind
like
them now.
Not back in the day, but
Yeah.
now.
Jonas
yes,
Brothers?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a
That's
few
how I
songs
feel.
I didn't mind. I really
I-
didn't.
Okay.
Who are the Jonas
maybe-
Brothers?
Well, there's these band of brothers.
Really?
There's three of
Oh.
them.
Dude. Okay. This is an unpopular opinion, maybe. I cannot stand their voice when they were younger.
Oh yeah.
I cannot stand it. Yes! That's it.
That's that classic boy band.
I could not
Wait,
stand that
no,
song.
I can do a perfect Nick Jonas.
Okay, here we go.
All right,
okay.
hear me out, guys. You know that song? What is
Love
it?
Bug?
No, it's not the Pizza Girl song.
Is it an old
Love
one?
Bug.
Well, yeah, Love
Bug.
Yeah, that's what
Okay,
you're
so
doing.
Nick Jonas, you ready?
Don't get too loud.
Called you for the first time yesterday.
That's good.
It's pretty close.
Somebody
Yeah.
take a picture of that.
Yeah, no.
That's good.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming back. This is the Awkward Tapes. If you couldn't have guessed already, prepare yourself for a session about
Oh my gosh.
Prepare
just
yourself for
roll
a
the
session of
intro.
awkwardness that Zach made. There you go.
Okay, guys. So we're starting off. What is this? Episode
37.
37. Man, we've come a long way, haven't we? Think about this. 6
But
months
not
ago.
really.
But what? What do you mean?
We have in terms of how much we've grown, but
Yeah.
we're really not that big in terms of episodes.
Oh well, I mean, yeah, we're
pretty-
still very young, but I
pretty
mean,
cool.
we've grown a lot.
I'm only 20.
I mean. All right. Physical growth aside. Oh man. Anyways, I was just saying, like, the fact that we've hit 200,000, or at least presumably at this point, we're not there yet. We're not in the future when this is airing, but presuming that we've hit 200,000, that is a huge milestone, and we cannot thank you guys enough.
On TikTok.
On TikTok is what it
TikTok.
means.
Yeah, on TikTok. Sorry. Maybe I should have explained a little
By
bit.
this point,
We
Y'all
are
are
related.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I just wanted to give y'all a reminder for the ones that have been listening for a while. Presley
Yeah.
and Leighton are brothers.
They are.
yeah, we're
Believe it or
twins.
not.
I don't think we bring that up like at all.
No, we
No,
don't.
we don't.
They're brothers.
Yeah,
People-
Presley and Leighton are brothers.
People might think like
We're not
he's
messing.
Evan's brother.
Yeah.
But or
they
Schmidt's
don't
brother.
look alike at all.
Yeah.
You
no.
look more
What's-
like him with
Yeah,
the blonde hair and blue eyes than
Yeah, actually, not wrong.
I'll take it.
Were you gonna talk about 1,000 on?
Yes.
That's what I was gonna
Yes!
talk about.
So
wow,
here, let's do it. I
We're
bet we're gonna
brothers.
phrase it the same way.
I forgot what I was gonna say, so you just take it.
All right.
I lost it.
Join in. So essentially, by this point, that's how I started.
Yes.
By this point,
we should.
we should have reached 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That's pretty terrifying.
Anyway,
Yeah, 1,000 subscribers. Like,
Well-
I'm scared of that.
One of the things that I want to prep you listeners for, not for this episode, but for the next one, hopefully, we're having some big things lined up and we're trying to move things around to where we can have a special guest on. And we're going to do hopefully at least an hour-long special with this guest. I don't want to say who. He's worked with a lot of big names like Wiz Khalifa, Logic, and
J. Cole.
J. Cole.
Zach.
The list goes on.
He has worked with Zach.
Me and Noah know him personally. We're working on a schedule to be able to bring him on the podcast for you guys, but be looking forward to that and stay tuned
Yeah.
because we are excited.
That'll be within the next 3 or 4 episodes. We don't know exactly which one, but
Yeah.
one of those.
Yeah, so stay tuned and keep watching because we're excited to bring it. But anyway, speaking of just pop culture in general with those artists, I don't think we've ever talked about it on here. What kind of music do you guys think that is new is good and bad? Like what's what's good about the new music nowadays and what's bad about it? Because I feel like there's been so
Well-
many changes. God bless you, Leighton.
Just every episode y'all
Every
listen,
time.
just expect at least once or twice to hear Leighton's
Yeah.
snotty nose just run its course.
I mean, I feel bad for the guy. I mean, you got
so
terrible
much allergies. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't really help that your dog hair is all over this microphone, and I have to get really close.
He's
to it.
allergic.
Okay,
I am allergic to your dog, but
Sorry.
All of them.
She loves you. It's
She
just
does, she
sharing the
does.
love.
Well,
I
let me
appreciate it.
let me just get my opinion because I feel pretty strongly about this.
Okay.
I feel strongly about a lot of things. I hate about 95% of today's rap.
That's fair.
Hate it so much
That's
because
fair.
it doesn't.
fair.
To me, I like music that actually has a purpose and is actually telling a story, and you can actually understand the words they're saying. You know, that's pretty important. I feel like in music.
So you don't like mumble rap?
I hate mumble rap.
Oh well, I hate mumble rap too.
But that's music. I feel like that is just like, and I don't know. I mean, I guess there's a community out there that respects it and appreciates it for what it is. That's just not my type of music. I don't understand it.
I kind of look at it like this when you mention mumble rap and stuff. All genres of music eventually evolve and change, and there's going just like regular evolution, quote unquote. There's going to be good change, and then there's going to be bad change. We have to get through the bad to get to the good stuff. So whatever the next wave of rap is going to be is hopefully going to be better than the previous.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way I look at it. But you make a solid point. A lot of rap nowadays is very artificial. It's not very in depth as it used to be. And I know I've definitely gotten into the thick of that. I won't explain it again, but there is a very rich history and culture around hip hop that I feel like a lot of people don't know about and should look up because what it has turned into today is not how it started.
Right.
So
And I mean, someone I appreciate in the rap industry, and I think they could do more, is Post Malone.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
yeah.
he
Post
genuinely
Malone's cool.
has such a good voice.
He does.
And a lot of his music actually has a good meaning and story behind it. I don't know if y'all have seen the video. I think I showed some of y'all, but there's a video that has kind of been trending lately of him singing a country song. It is
Yes.
so good.
Oh, yeah.
And he actually has said that his goal is to make a country album eventually.
I would totally listen to it.
It is so good.
And that's one of the coolest parts. And I'm sorry, I know I'm like dominating this conversation, but I wanted to add, I think one of the coolest parts about Post Malone specifically is that he is not confined to a genre.
Right. Because he's worked with Ozzy Osbourne and people like
Ozzy
that.
Yeah.
Osbourne.
Yeah.
I like people who reach out to different
Right.
spectrums.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. I mean,
Experiment.
heck no. I mean, you're in audio engineering, same as I was. What are your opinions on today's music?
Okay, so I agree with you guys. I feel like a lot of it doesn't really have a meaning. It's kind of just the same thing over and over.
Superficial stuff.
It's like the same topic in every song, just slightly different lyrics. It's the same type of beats and stuff. So it's definitely not really interesting after a while, but I do like some songs here and there.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm more like, I'm not just a lyrics kind of guy. Like, I like melodies and
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
the music and the drums. So some songs do intrigue me. And like you said, Post Malone's really good. I love Post Malone. But like you said, it's really not going anywhere right now.
Right.
Well, I think that might be some appeal to the whole mumble rap thing. Is it's not really about the words at all, which is what a decent amount of people are going to understand. But it's more about the beat and the melody and all that stuff.
I feel like a lot
aside
of
from
nowadays
that.
stuff is a lot about the beat. Like, you see more
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
making beats and stuff like that now.
That's such a cool thing to be able to say. Oh, what do you do? I make beats.
I make
I think
Yeah.
too, like with music nowadays, I feel like there's less creativity than what there used to be a long time ago.
Yep.
Because like I don't know, this is a long time ago, like jazz music, it's so like artistic and creative and stuff, but like nowadays they just kind of followed the same formula. It's all 4/4. You got some boots, you got some cats, and you got you got some heavy bass thumping, boom, boom, or a bass drop, lots of
It's
subs.
all about bass.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
it's the same formula for every song. Like you can just copy and paste and throw in any new startup singer, but if they get like a good beat maker, they could be famous.
And I also will say, in terms of like experimenting, from like the audio engineering standpoint, like
Yeah.
we learn a lot about mic placements and new techniques and stuff. Nobody does that anymore. It's always just a beat and a guy with a mic
And it's always like in their closet or something.
in their closet or something. Like there's no
yeah.
new experimentation or anything.
I totally agree. And that's what people, I feel like Charlie Puth being one of them, and like people like that who are trying to be pioneers of this new day in technology. There's just so much that you can do, and so much that like, okay, like the way I would explain it, the other day I was talking about mastering, which if you're not familiar, I won't get into it, but it's a form of audio engineering in which you like finish a song and polish it up. Well, there's this program where you can just click a button. It's called Isotope, and you just bam, done. And I asked a professor at that school. I was like, "Why would you do this? This seems like cheating." And he said, "Well, why dig a ditch with a shovel when you can do it with a backhoe?" And I was like, "Well, fair enough."
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that that makes me think that the music industry is
Yeah.
getting easier, but also like less. What would you say? Original. you
Less
know?
original, yeah.
You mentioned. Sorry.
You go first.
Okay. Well, you mentioned
I have
Charlie
something to
Puth.
Yeah.
This may be an unpopular opinion. I don't know. I feel like he is one of the smartest and most talented artists in the world.
I could
Because
get on board with that.
His perfect pitch is, that's a lot of talent in itself. But do you know how he started?
No.
He started on YouTube.
Oh.
He was on YouTube. He had a video that blew up. He got invited on the Ellen Show, which grew his popularity even more. Then he started coming out with, all these albums and stuff. But then right as TikTok started getting big,
Yeah.
he hopped on TikTok and expanded himself even more. And now he's doing this thing where he's like, you probably have seen it. He's like, what if a song started like bump, 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 bump? And then he
Yeah.
will make it into a song.
Yeah.
Like the Light Switch song. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that started from TikTok.
Yeah, I saw that.
And-
I remember people were outraged because he took so long
Yeah.
to release it.
It's
He
a
was
good song.
promoting it for like 6 months.
Oh man.
I think he's one of the smartest artists in the world today.
Definitely, me too. Well, no, you had something to say first.
Oh, well, all I was gonna say was going back to the creative process or whatever. It
Yeah.
made me think. I think Presley knows this. We've talked about this. Like the Beastie Boys, they
Yeah.
have that bass in Paul Revere, I think, right? That
cool.
is reversed. Like they flipped the back in the day with the record spinning.
flipped the
they
sample.
flipped it, yeah, and it has that really cool bass sound. That's like I don't know. That just sounds really cool. I don't
Yeah.
feel like people do like weird stuff.
But yeah, just to get a specific sound
It's
to
like
get it to stand out.
Like I can't do it, but it was like reverse.
Yeah, which goes back to
With
what
that
Noah
font.
was saying about different mic placements and
Yeah. It
experimentation.
was a new technique.
Yeah. Then and they just put it in a song, and now that song is like really stands out.
Yeah.
There's other guys that'll kind of try and do the same thing live, like play to the room that they're in. Or this one guy beatboxes on the saxophone, like
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You
I've-
show me his stuff.
yeah,
Yes.
he's really cool. But he'll like do music videos of different songs he has originals, and he'll play it in like a cave or an abandoned house that has weird echoes. And he found like this really like miles long tube, probably about as tall as this ceiling, and it had an insane echo. Like it'd take an entire 10 seconds before it would echo
Travel.
back and
Wow.
play back what he had. But he
Amazing.
played with that, with his timing and
That's
everything, all in one take.
Yeah.
No overdub, no nothing.
Yeah.
No, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was just gonna say another person that comes to mind when it comes to like experimentation and trying new things is Tame Impala. I don't know if you guys listen to.
I've heard the name.
I know who of they are. Actually, I've seen them in concert. I
Really?
just realized I've seen part of them in concert. I was at a festival.
I love
yeah.
I love Tame Impala. There's one guy, his name's Kevin Parker. He pretty much does all this stuff. And he just tries new things with like reverbs, and it's like psychedelic, and like the way he pans things and
Yeah.
the way he layers things. I really like stuff like that.
Yeah, I might get I won't get hate from this, but So obviously, y'all know I've come to like my favorite genre is country music now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when I was like in high school and middle school and stuff, I grew to like hate country music.
Oh, yeah.
Because the people that were my age were like, oh, all they talk about is hunting and tractors and beer and stuff. That's
And
not
women.
Yeah, true. And that's but where you hear women in like every genre.
Every
But
genre.
I
I
think
have
the
a
reason
statistic for that later.
Okay. But I think the reason they got so much hate about those topics is because you don't hear tractors and beer and hunting talked about in any other genre. Like you don't hear that in rock, like hunting and rock or rap or anything like that.
That's fair.
And so like that's different. That's weird. And just the fact that it's country, I don't know. But I just feel like going back to like, oh, it has a good meaning and I love the lyrics. Country music has a lot of like good stories behind the song and good meaning. Like Luke Combs, love Luke Combs. Morgan Wallen's great. I know you like Hardy now.
I do like Hardy now.
Hardy-
Thanks to my classmate.
Yeah. Hardy's a little bit different. You probably haven't ever heard of him. He's up and coming. But he's a little different when it comes to country music. He's more like
rock.
hardcore. Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something I've grown to love is country music, but I was taught to hate it. And so I never really like let myself like it until just a few years ago.
I will say, and I don't want to say this because I am one of those people.
Yeah.
Country music, to be fair, has gotten better.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not as corny as
They-
it used to be.
I'll agree. They went through a phase where it wasn't that good.
It was terrible.
It's getting better now. There's a lot more artists that are kind of going back to how it used to be,
Which I
but
really
also putting a
respect.
new twist on it.
I can relate to that. I've really grown to like Tyler Childers.
Yeah.
I think is how you say his name.
I think it's
He's got
Childers.
the Childers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so like he has that song "Lady May,"
Yeah.
"Nose to the Grindstone." Love those songs. Absolutely amazing. And I think it's just figuring out the kind of style of country I like. Same way there is different styles of rap and rock and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, when it comes to country music, like newer country music, I don't listen to as much. I like some of the songs, you hear them on the radio.
Yeah.
But when it comes to country music, like you said, there's different styles. I like older stuff. I
Yeah.
like stuff
Yeah.
like George Jones, George Strait, Conway
yeah.
Twitty, stuff like that.
That's fair.
Anybody named George.
Conway Twitty.
Anybody named
man.
George.
Yeah. But I think Morgan Wallen and Luke Combs, they're like top tier when it comes to country music right now. Just listen to them. Their voices are so unique, especially Morgan Wallen. His voice is not like a lot of people.
I need to come back to it and try
Just
it
try
again.
it. It's good stuff.
And it's funny being so close to Nashville too. Like you have,
yeah.
you're part of one of two different groups when you're from here. You either love country music, you live, breathe the diet, or you absolutely cannot stand it because you were around Group One way
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah, Morgan Wallen is from a town like 5 minutes away from Knoxville, where I went to
really?
school. And so during the internship I did, I would go to his high school a lot to cover some games. And one time I just overheard, I was talking to this guy, and this person came up and sat beside him and was talking about someone named Morgan and how, like, yeah, I haven't seen Morgan in a while, but I think he's doing all right, blah, blah, blah. And they're talking about Morgan Wallen. I thought that was really
awesome.
cool because, people around there, they just know him. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of good country music singers that just live right around us. That's another cool.
You know you're close to a celebrity when you don't have to say their last name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you know what's funny? Y'all ready for that statistic?
Yes.
Okay, so something I've been learning in songwriting class, which is a class I've started taking after we graduated audio engineering. I've learned that 70% of songs written today are love songs.
Yeah. That's
70%.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
Oof.
And that's coming from like big hit songwriters because it's so easy, it's personal. You can reach a wide base of fans, and everyone's been through something that they can relate to when it comes to a relationship or love. And so it's the most written about topic in music.
Yeah.
And so the market starts to become oversaturated. Well, how do you write about the same subject multiple times? You come up with a new angle. You gain a slightly different perspective and then write about that. You don't say the words, I love you. You say, I love the way you love me. You have to always think outside of the box. And that's the cool part about the music industry is that it's repetitive, but you want to be repetitive in a different way, you
Yeah.
know? And that's the big thing about writing a hit song nowadays, which is what I've been learning about. So I just thought you'd find that interesting.
Presley and Leighton, I haven't heard a whole lot from y'all, but like favorite genres. Classic rock stuff?
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll listen to just about anything except for some of the newer country music. but
Yeah.
that might change soon.
but
If some of this is good,
I need a friend that I can bond with over country music. There's a festival coming up that I want to go to. I'm not going by myself.
Which festival?
you could.
Talking about CMA Fest?
No,
You could go.
you could. I believe in you.
Heart of the South,
Heart of the
Rock of the South. That's what it's
Rock of
called.
the
It's in
South.
Alabama.
Interesting.
Morgan Wallen's going. I think Hardy might be there.
Interesting.
so-
I might go with you.
If I have money at that point, maybe we'll go.
Yeah, well, that's a big if. I don't have money
Me
either.
neither. Anyway,
That sounded so backhanded. I didn't mean for that to sound backhanded. Sorry.
I don't have money either.
If
anyway,
Schmeb's broke.
I am.
Favorite? I don't really stick to a particular genre. I just go between different songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I like.
That's fair.
And like you said, a lot of them end up sounding the same. Sometimes it turns into a game of like who can make the better version of a love song in today's world. You know,
Fair enough. Oh my gosh, I keep saying that.
Leighton.
Dude, okay, so I was just trying to look through something that I've listened to recently, and I guess like the newest thing is like Post Malone's new album, and I thought that was like pretty good. Did
Yeah.
you guys like that?
I haven't listened to it yet.
I've just listened to
Yeah, I
some.
haven't listened to
Wait,
it.
are you talking about
Because-
Circles?
no, he came out with a new one.
What is
You
it?
didn't know?
No, I haven't.
Gold
I'll look it
toothache
up.
something.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
When
I'm
did it
kinda
come
like-
out?
Like pretty recently.
Yeah, like 2-3 weeks ago.
I'm kind of like Presley,
I'm
where like
surprised.
I'll listen to just about anything.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of
it's
like
good.
at the moment.
Yeah, I go through like phases.
Oh shoot!
Uh,
yeah.
12 karat toothache.
Okay, that's
See,
it.
I don't like it
I need
as
to listen
much
to
as
this.
I liked his last album just off the bat, but it's gonna be one of those things. Do
He
you
did
do
say-
this?
Different.
Like where you listen to something and you're like, I'm not gonna judge it because I'm gonna give it a month and my opinion will be different.
Yeah. Yep.
I always come back and like stuff more
Yeah.
after a little.
Don't
time.
judge it until after the second listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I am with especially Kendrick albums. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay,
Kendrick
let's
is
talk
big
about
one.
that new album.
Yeah.
That's a new album.
I haven't heard it.
Okay.
You
I'm gonna
talking
listen
the
to
Big
a little
Steppers album? The newest one he just came
Yes,
out with?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's my opinion. Kendrick Lamar, being Kendrick Lamar, he is considered one of, if not the best rappers in the industry right now. And with me being a hip hop lover, it's really hard to take into account the kind of art form that he tries to create on a project. But that being said, the last album that he came out with that wasn't for the Black Panther movie, of course, was called. Am I allowed to say that? Because it was called a curse word. You know the album I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's
yeah.
called Dang.
Dang.
Dang. Yeah, dang. So
Period.
I might be controversial here, and there are going to be people that come at me. And let me look you in the eye when I say that is one of the best projects of all time when it comes to hip hop. Period. It just is. I love it. It's well crafted. All the songs have replayability, and it tells an amazing story. Coming off of that, especially going through COVID and coming out with another album was going to be really hard. So what he did was create an album explaining on what he went through and his experiences through COVID and all of the heartache and all of the social media stuff that came up with him and all of the depression and isolation and stuff. And so it's a very different album. He has a lot of rhythmic elements that are like stepping. Are you guys familiar with that art form that's like called stepping? I don't know much about it. I know it's a big thing, and I believe the Black community around the colleges, but they do this thing called stepping where they do like this dance routine.
You know what? I have heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of what he based the rhythmic part of his album around. And bless you. And it was just really cool to see. But as far as what songs have replayability, it's nothing compared to Dang, his former album.
I'll agree. Like it was a great project.
Yeah.
and I really loved it. But when it comes to like hits and like replayability, it's not something you just jam every day.
It's not. It's not. I mean, there's a couple songs that I
Yeah.
might replay a few times, but it's not.
Like
on
I
that
haven't
same
listened to
level.
it in a few weeks.
Yeah.
So it's not like catchy or something that you blast in the car with your friends.
Maybe 2 songs, but that was the point that I was
Yeah.
trying to make, though, is that like that other album that he did, every single song
Yeah.
on that album I could still play and probably sing along to.
Yeah.
Because it had that level of replayability. This
But-
album does
Yeah.
not.
That's not what
And
he was going for.
it was
It's
an
more about-
artistic statement about COVID, I think. Sorry. You were
No, you're
saying.
good. I was just saying, like, I don't mind Kendrick at all, but it's always been hard for me to listen to some of his music for some reason. I think it's just because he's a little different, which I think is why people like him so much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really do like some of the songs on Dang. Those are good.
Love that we're calling it that.
DNA, Element, obviously Humble.
And then some of his older stuff too, I like.
To Pimp a Butterfly was a great album. Good Kid, Mad City. I'm a huge.
That's
fan.
my favorite.
Yeah.
Now that's a great album, and I think that there's a lot of great songs that came from that. There was Money Trees. There was Poetic Justice. I love that song. There's so many on that album that I love. Sorry, I feel like we're getting so far away from Awkward Tape stuff, but this is
don't
fun.
care.
This is part of our. So if you've been following along, we've been doing this thing recently, which we decided I think we're going to do is we play games on the weekend episodes and just conversations midweek.
Yeah.
So the conversations could consist of what's on our mind. So,
Anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
But kind of switching genres a little bit, going back to classic rock. I want to bring up a controversial thing between these two, especially the Beatles.
Yeah.
Oh,
Leighton and Presley
oh
do not
boy.
like the Beatles.
We do
I
not.
don't, and I'm not gonna apologize.
No, that's fine, and you
No.
don't
Yeah,
have
that's cool.
to. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I don't.
No, you don't.
No, I genuinely do because
Well,
they're different. It's just
look.
it's kind of like my thing with Kendrick Lamar. He's a little different, but he's great, and I know that
Exactly.
But
Musically, I can appreciate it, but I don't
I
like it.
hate. Was that's all 60?
60s, 70s,
60s and 70s.
I don't like. Yeah, I don't like 60s music. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like 60s.
I don't either.
I think that's a hard. That's a big statement.
Anything
So I don't know. There's probably
earlier
some songs,
than
but-
the 70s. It's
Yeah.
70s and back.
It has
I'm not
a
a big
weird.
fan of.
It has a certain style to it that I just don't
So
like to listen.
y'all
to.
don't like
I know what it
any
is.
of their songs?
I mean, I
Help,
like them,
Yesterday.
Hey Jude.
but no, they're all
Here
beautiful,
comes the sun.
beautiful
good one.
You
lyrics.
don't like Hey Jude.
No, I like Hey Jude. It's got great lyrics, great music, great everything, but I don't like listening to it.
This is gonna kill you. What I like the song "Here Comes the Sun," but I like it when people do a cover of it. I don't like their
no.
version.
No.
Like
And I know
yesterday,
that's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
yesterday is played as like a big jazz standard on gigs and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah. So I've heard a bunch
Yesterday?
of different versions. Yeah, it's in the real book.
Oh. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
there's
For
a bunch
those-
of different versions.
Yeah,
of
for
it.
those who don't know, the real book is like a standard set of a bunch of jazz songs.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
300
But
plus.
So-
it's in that.
What I've gathered from arguing with you guys on this for 4 years is you don't like their music, but you really appreciate what they've done for the music industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't
They're
not
very
appreciate that.
they're very talented. I appreciate what they've done, but it's like saying how can you not like them? Everything rock has done going forward is because of them. It's like, okay, are we
yeah.
gonna trace the Beatles back to
Yeah.
classical music?
Right.
Like
I've
that's
said
tough.
before,
It's the same thing.
like I've said before, they didn't make them, but the Beatles had a huge impact on Queen.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a huge
But
impact.
I like Queen
a lot of older
more.
bands always go back to the Beatles.
Yeah.
And here's another thing too, and this is something I've picked up over the years, is that the Beatles literally changed how the music industry functioned after they came into the scene. Because you got to understand, when people came into like the music industry back then, it was all about songwriters trying to get and make songs for bands. The Beatles didn't do that. They wrote all their own stuff. Songwriters and publishers
Yep.
hated them.
Yeah.
And the way that I just got one more thing.
Sorry.
I got one more thing. That song "Yesterday" is so amazing to me because not only is it one of their most popular songs, they use one of the most rare kinds of minor scales that there is, the melodic minor scale.
I love
where
that
it's-
scale, by the
where
way.
it starts off
Big scale
dissonant
guy.
and then ends in a major major scale context. It is so rare that you see that, and it is like one of the most popular songs out there, and it's amazing.
And going off of that, that's why like all these jazz versions of
Yeah.
it are really cool. But like
Makes sense.
for you, do you like Miles Davis? Would you listen to any classic just jazz song? No.
Yeah.
No.
You don't really like the style, but you can probably appreciate same thing, especially classical music.
I just didn't. I never grew up listening to jazz, so that never
Yeah.
made me seek it out.
Right. Well, we didn't grow up listening to the Beatles.
Yeah.
No,
But you
but we
don't-
also didn't grow up listening to jazz.
I think it's
but we-
just the style of
Yeah.
music. It's not that they don't like them. It's not that you
It's
don't think that
just
they're
the style.
bad.
It's
It's
just
just,
Not.
you're not your thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's okay. We still love you.
No, you
Maybe not as much, but we do
Just
love
a little
you.
less.
I really don't know how to describe their like sound.
I just don't like.
don't know how to describe it. I
Maybe
just
it's
don't
the It's not just them. I've had this with.
Oh, yeah.
It's that
Time period.
Yeah,
right?
maybe it's the
The
way
60s.
just the sound, the way things were recorded back then. I just don't like that old timey
Yeah.
sound.
Well, what about you, Noah? What are your thoughts on this? You've heard us talk a lot about it.
On the Beatles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of agree with everybody here. Like, I don't listen to the Beatles at all. Sure. I've listened to their projects. You have to. It's the Beatles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like some of their songs, and I do like the sound. I like older music, but they're not an everyday thing for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
I'm both sided here.
I go through spurts. There'll
Yeah.
be times where like I listen to the Beatles nonstop for a month, but then I won't listen to them like much at all anymore, like for a year.
Yeah.
But
You know, when we go on like beach trips and stuff,
I was gonna say this.
yeah, when we are playing music and we're passing the aux around, people still do that. Pass the Bluetooth around,
Yeah.
and like there are certain songs that you'll pick that kind of have that Beatle-esque,
Yes.
old timey sound that I
Yes.
will only listen to probably once or twice a year, and it's because of you.
Yes.
Because that's as much as I can
It's
take
like
of
there's
it.
something about like that time period and
Like,
that style that I guess your dad listens to that.
You're
kind of
talking
music.
about 60s classic rock.
Yeah.
I think
so
so.
not
that
the Beatles.
genre.
Well, even
but-
Piano Man.
Oh, I love
I don't like
Yes.
that song. Musically,
Yes.
I appreciate it. It's great.
That's a
I
good
just don't like
example.
listening to it.
So
It's-
here's the thing
don't know.
that I find most fascinating about this that I'm going to share. I had this conversation with a friend of ours, Grace. Okay.
Yeah.
You
said it again.
You said it
just say
again.
Grace. I want you to try it with me. So, Grace.
We had this talk.
We had
It's
this last
not
time
a
we
big
filmed.
deal.
Yeah, no, but last time you're like, I need to stop saying our friend Grace. It's
Yeah.
just Grace. It's Grace.
Okay,
So
that's fair.
We're going to call you out and we're going to move
Grace.
on.
Okay. Grace. I was having a conversation with Grace.
Who?
And
Get a snot bubble.
I was telling her, I was like, I wonder why it is that I love much newer music and can appreciate the older stuff like 70s, 80s, 60s, but not listen to it as much. And I think I figured out why. When it comes to like us as individuals, we either love melodic, like very melodic driven songs with like really good lyrics, or we love the chord change discipline of question and resolve because that's more enticing and satisfying to our brains. So me personally, I love hip hop. I think hip hop has a lot of major key differences from old music, and that's that there's a lot more bass, there's crazy question and resolve in their music, whether that be melodically in their chord structure or with their lyrics, and that entices me more because I get really uncomfortable when the quote unquote question is asked, but then the resolve happens and I'm way more satisfied than if I were to just listen to a lovely melody.
Are you following this?
I'm completely
Okay.
lost.
Okay. Here's
Sum
a
it up.
perfect example.
Maybe I shouldn't say that so
This is
fancy.
what question
understood
answer it
that.
is. Okay, you ready? Bum bum ba dum bum.
Bum, bum.
Bum bum.
If you just go bum bum ba dum bum.
And then just leave it.
Oh,
there's no
It's,
resolve.
it's
uncomfortable.
tension and release.
Resolution.
Yes, that's what he's
Resolution
saying. Like,
and release.
so you're saying like that
Like-
style versus a melody where it's just like doesn't have all the chords
Something
and
that's
questions. and answers.
catchy.
Just
Like
catchy.
the Andy Griffith theme song, the whistling, that's just a very
Melody.
happy melody. It could be standalone by itself. But if you go bump, bump, ba-dum, bump, you have to go bump, bump.
It's because we as humans love to anticipate what's happening in music. And when it's easy to anticipate, we resolve it ourselves and it's satisfying.
And when you want
So,
it to.
When you have music that's not as easy for our brains to resolve, it leaves us questioning and wanting to figure out what the resolve is so that when it finally comes, it's more satisfying.
Yeah, like a lot of times it likes to come back to home, which is one or do
Yeah.
or whatever. And so
Yeah.
if you
In
you just
music.
hanging on 5 or 4 chord, if you don't go back to 1,
You're like,
get this
where are we right now?
Yeah,
Which is like the
Which is the
home
key
of.
signature.
Yeah,
Sorry, we're trying our
key
hardest.
is.
we're trying.
Okay, yeah, y'all are music people, and I'm
Sorry.
not. I'm completely lost.
We
I have
just
no.
lost half
I'm
our
sure what
audience.
y'all are saying makes complete
get it?
sense.
Yeah, no, I was
Okay.
gonna try to
I've
pitch
never
in.
studied music, so
There's a lot of this in like soloing. I'm a big like heavy metal rock kind of guy.
Yeah.
And in soloing, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of like building up tension and then hitting them notes that just hit hard.
And
home.
release. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get it.
Like
Yeah.
in a what's one I'm trying to think of.
Like, what would be a good example?
Like
It's
you know
not
the
gonna help.
you know the
I promise.
you know the guitar solo in that.
Freebird.
Sure.
That's a great guitar
Yeah.
solo.
Imagine playing that, but what am I trying to say here? Like the way the
he's not
solo
gonna
is
get it.
played, it wants to.
all music wants to be resolved.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Yeah.
And our brains want to resolve it.
Like right now, we could play some chords.
Yeah.
And it would leave you like, and you don't have to be a music guy. You would just hear it. We all have our musical ear. Just about everyone. Some people don't, but we all would be able to hear it and just go.
I got it.
Something needs to happen
I got it.
next.
I got it. Pentatonic scale. Watch this. All right, Shmev. Forget everything you just heard us spout
I
off.
don't think I can.
Okay.
He didn't register it anyway.
Just like get it out of your head.
Okay.
I'm about to do
Just-
a really
Just have amnesia.
Yeah. I'm about to do a really simple exercise, and you at home can do it too. Watch this. If I'm going to sing some notes, I want you to try and anticipate the note that you would want to sing next. So if I go,
You could whistle.
yeah, if I go, ba, ba, what's the note you want to hit after that? Exactly.
See?
That's our brain anticipating what wants to come next. So if I were to sing this, I were to sing ba ba. What's the resolve?
What?
You don't know.
Yeah.
See, your brain's confused, so you can't anticipate it. So when it is resolved in the song, it's much more satisfying to our brains.
I understand that, but what does it have to do with what?
It's what music is built around.
No,
Yeah.
back to what he was saying. His friend Grace. He said, he's saying that he had this discovery that he likes more music with core and melodical standalone ideas, whereas she likes more like question and answer, like
No,
things have
it's
to
flipped
resolve.
around. It's flipped around.
Flip those.
I like more
Okay.
question resolve, where she likes more
a free melody.
like free melodies,
Yeah.
free flow
And
melodies.
I think most
Catchy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say. I think most songs that have like just that melody, it's just a catchy song.
And
that
you know what that is?
What?
The Beatles.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
yes.
It's not question and resolve. It's free
just-
flow, happy melody
Which
It's also,
also,
too happy.
for most of it, unless you get into
Maybe
stuff
that's
like
what it
Eleanor
is.
I think
Rigby.
that might be it.
I don't
Yeah.
like just just happy music
It is
for the sake of it. I'm like,
ridiculously happy.
What right do you have to be so happy?
Anyways, I really hope I didn't
Anyway.
break anyone's brains out there. I just found that really interesting, and I
enjoyed
wanted to
that.
share some of my.
Shmev looks like he's about to have a nervous breakdown over here.
I think you broke
Lost.
Shmev's brain.
I'm
Sorry, you got 4 music guys sitting in a room. You can't help
Yeah.
us not talk about it.
Yeah. I hope people enjoyed that.
I hope
think they
so.
Yeah.
Give us your feedback.
That'd be
tell
like
us,
me
tell us if
giving
it
a
was
lecture
stupid.
on sports ethics or something like that.
I would be down for that.
I might have a panic attack.
Yeah, right? All right,
Fair
so
enough.
basically, Leighton and Presley's homework is I'm going to give you all some country music to listen to
Okay.
that I think is
I'll listen
good,
to that.
and I want honest feedback.
All right.
To be honest, I bet y'all won't like it, but I just want y'all to listen
I'm
to
not
it.
going to judge it off the bat.
Okay, here's a song that
Well,
I know you
you've
like.
been listening to some Morgan Wallen, actually.
Yeah,
yeah.
Flower Shop. Is that
Yes,
it?
that's
I like
a
that
fantastic song. Cover Me Up.
the candy
Yes.
shop.
Yeah.
That is that one.
Anyway,
All right.
yeah.
Well, I don't know where we're at, but
No, we're good.
yeah,
Probably
I'm guessing
enough
we're good on
time.
Well, this was a music episode, so hopefully y'all enjoyed and got to listen to our opinions on music, including me, who has no clue what he's doing and what he's listening to. Yeah, thank you guys for all the support. Join us for episode 38, and thank you for joining us for a session of awkwardness.